Hello everybody. Today I'm going to have a go at painting a badger. I was inspired by my candle here that has got a beautiful badger on the front. I suppose I ought to say this is it doesn't say who makes it. Oh, Heaven Sent. That's who it is, heavensent.co.uk. Yes, and this is it's a very lovely oak, wood and bergamot candle, but ceramic. So once I've burned the candle, I'll be able to use this. But that's by the by. It just inspired me to pull out a picture that I found on Unsplash. This picture is by Vincent Van Zelinge, and I will put a link to that below. So yes, we're going to have a go at this badger here, and the paper that I am using here, and I've just done a little sketch there very lightly. This paper is from this, let me get rid of that light that's in the way. There we go, that's a bit better. Hanemule watercolour selection. I have listed this on a previous video. The actual paper that I'm using is called Torchon 275 GSM, and it was number 13 in this selection, if you have it. The Torchon collection is vegan, by the way, so it's a vegan one. So I'm just going to pop my picture over there out of the way. The palette that I'm going to be using today is my Schminker palette. The actual paints, the half pans, came in a Christmas Advent calendar, and I've added to them. So these are all Schminker, apart from the gold, the silver, and I don't think the white was in it. I think that might be white gouache that I've put in there. So yeah, this is a palette that I bought off of Amazon, I think it was. So I've decided to use this palette for today's painting, and I need to get myself organised. Got my water, my brushes that I'm using are all from Craftamo. They are a size 12, a size 10 and a size 6, so I'm going to pop them over there, put that there, and then we need to come in a little bit, don't we? So probably need to go down a bit actually, so that we can get a bit clearer view. So bear with me while we go down, down, down. There we go, that's a bit better, isn't it? And we can maybe put some light back in again. There we are. Okay, so I'm going to start with the background, and we've got sort of a greeny browny background and then lots of twigs at the bottom here. So I'm going to get a little bit of that in first, and let's see what colours we might use. So I think we will use maybe a little bit of, I've got some desert orange here that looks quite interesting. I might use that, give that a go, and then add some green into it. So I'm just going to wet my paper and go around my badger. and get that bit in first. So this is called Desert Orange. I might need to spray these. I haven't had them out for quite some time. Let's give them a bit of a spray. There we go. And try and activate them a bit more. Okay. So we've got this Desert Orange. I've never used this torch on paper before, so we will see what that's like. If you are vegan, then I guess this paper might be one that you want to have a look at. I think I need to darken that at the top a bit. What else can we use? Umber. Let's put a bit of umber in the top there. And I'll bring that down, water. And it has got still a little bit of the Desert Orange or an umber. It's got a bit of a mixture in there. But I want to bring in some green now. So I think that we will use olive green. There we go. Let's add some olive green in here. But we need a bit more of the brown and the orange in there. So umber and burnt, no, what was it? Umber and Desert Orange, sorry. And we can see we're getting some nice effects here for the background. Underneath, I really want it to be quite a bit darker, so there we go. Sepia. Let's use a bit of sepia down the bottom here. Where's my sepia gone? There you are. And I still want a bit of that orange, the Desert Orange in there. So we're going to add a little bit of that in there as well, because we don't really want it to be all one colour. Not sure I quite like those blobs there. I think I want to add a bit more of the green in. Okay. Yes, I like that a bit better. Now I want some texture of some kind in there. So where is my trusty paintbrush with its funny little thing on the end? Because we've got these twiggy bits going everywhere here. So I'm just going to do some marks, just so we've got something interesting going on. like so. Yes, that way we haven't got just a plain background. We've missed a bit there, so we'll let that mingle a bit more. Okay, I need this to dry, see how it's looking, and then we can start our badger. Okay, I have dried that, so let me get that back in shot. There we go. So next I'm going to get the body of the badger painted. I'm going to go down in size. I was using my 12, but I think I will now go with the 10. And I have mixed up a little bit of Payne's Grey, black, and a little bit of sepia to get this colour for my badger. And I want some of this undergrowth coming up here, so I'm not going to be too careful with this part, because I'm going to be covering some of it up. Going to need to add a bit more interest and fur, but I might do that with some coloured pencils. But this paper has a nice effect on it, texture to it, which is helping a little bit. So there we have, let's just get a bit of brown in there, because it's not a perfect black. Although, saying that, let's get the black, because this bit here seems to be quite dark in, yeah, if I squint, that's kind of in shadow coming round there. So we'll make that a little bit darker. But that's quite nice with the sepia coming through. Okay, that needs to dry again. So, back in a sec. Okay, so I think that's quite a nice effect. And if you look, we've got a lighter brown a bit, a lighter brown a bit there. And it's darker under here. So I've gone darker under here. So now we just need to get the face in, and that needs to be quite defined. And we need black and we need white. So let me think which way round we will do first. Shall we get the white in first, let that dry, and then do the black? Okay, so smaller brush now, size 6. Out comes the Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White. And let's get the white bits in. So we've got a white tip on that ear, and the same on this ear. And then this kind of cheek area here. And we will try and make that a bit feathery around there. Then we've got the bit in the middle. Leave out the nose. And then the bit the other side, and this needs to have a bit of fluffiness around it, if you like. So we'll go like that, and then bring that round. Okay, so there we have our white. And this is the thing with watercolour, if we want to do the rest of the face, then we really need to let that dry. There we go. So now we're going to do the black part of the face, and I'm just going to use the black. So we've got the rest of the ear here, and then this comes down. And we'll leave where the eye is. It's a good job these brushes have a really nice point on them, isn't it? Okay, so let's go this side. I want to avoid that eye again. And now the nose is not black, it's actually a really dark brown. So I'm just going to add a bit of the sepia. I just added the sepia to the black, really. There we go, now we've got his little nose in there. So we've got most of him in. I think while that's drying, we can bring up some of this, what's surrounding him. So we've kind of got a background here, but I want some foreground. So let's see what we can do here. We need some more at the front down here. What am I going to? I'm going to my size 10 again now. And because I want to pull it forward a bit more, I think I am going to use, should we use burnt sienna now, which is a bit of a warmer colour to bring forward. So let's just see if we can get some of this in. make it a little bit warmer down here, together with, what have we got here? Burnt umber. Okay, burnt sienna, burnt umber. So I think we'll kind of mix those two together to get this a bit darker. It's not dark enough. So layering up as we go. And I will try and merge that in a minute. So where am I? Burnt sienna. And burnt umber. So that's definitely looking a little better, but I don't particularly want that harsh edge. So I'm just gonna let that bleed a bit so that I can add a bit more green. Now then, we used olive green, didn't we? Maybe we can add a little bit of May green now and bring this forward a bit more. Okay. So I'm kind of using what's there in the background, but adding to it a little bit to just bring some shapes forward. There we go. I think that looks a bit better, except that I need something coming across here. So let's go with something like this, and a bit more of that May green, because then he's kind of coming out of the bush there. Okay, I need that to dry again, but you can see how the background was more muted, and then I've added on top, and where I've made my marks, you could use anything that's got a tip to it to make the marks. The end of your you might be able to use the end of your paintbrush or something, but you can see how I've then used those to give the impression of woodland. And then we had our kind of more muted green in the back, and then I've pulled some of that forward with this bright May green. So I think he's looking rather nice, except for I have just noticed I maybe need to ground him a little bit more. So I think we might need to pull out some bits along here. That show that he's kind of come through this green bit here. Yeah, I think I prefer that. Okay, let's let that dry. So, I noticed that my camera shut off. So what I did was I added in some luminance pencils up the side here, and then I added a little bit of Payne's Grey luminance into the fur, and then I used a fineliner just to kind of outline the black a little bit better. And so now I am peeling this off, and there we have our badger. So there is our original, and there is my version. And to be fair, I think he looks rather nice. So I've used Schminker paints. I've used, I didn't use any Neocolour 2s, but I used some luminance pencils. And I used a fineliner. I used my Lumos fineliner. So there we have it. One Badger, who I think is rather lovely. So I'll leave the link to the photograph down below. Obviously you don't need to use the same colours as me. You can use any colour that you like. So, okay, hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to be doing a poll shortly, maybe next week sometime, to find out what it is that you would like me to paint. So take care everyone, stay safe and stay healthy.